Here's what happened during week 2 of LBB19. Abrielle was randomly selected to push the next button on the Big Brother remote, and she chose the pause button, thinking that would be playing it safe. With the pause button, the house guests would compete for immunity before the nomination ceremony. Whichever player won immunity would be able to share that immunity with one other person. Every player received dice, and they would roll those dice at the nomination ceremony. The player who rolled the highest number would win immunity. Players were allowed to hand their dice to other people, trying to stack the competition in their favor. At the head of household competition, Oscar won the challenge and became the most powerful player in the game after narrowly escaping eviction last week.
Well, it's a comeback. I won. I'm the HOH and I get to pick who is gonna be eliminated. And I think I already have my picks already since minute number 2 of this day. So let's see.
Josh was the first person in the HOH room with Oscar. Josh was one of the most vocal voices in keeping Oscar in the game last week, so he was pretty safe for the week. Even though most of the girls are rejecting the Girls Alliance pitched by Rita the week before, most of them congregated and agreed to target the couples, with Liz and Derek as target number 1. Throughout the week, these groups keep forming, with Josh, Desh, and Oscar being pulled in more than the other guys. Meanwhile, Mackenzie and Lucas develop a pretty solid side alliance. Mackenzie warned Lucas that the couples were in the most danger in the house. Lucas and Meredith are another couple in the game. Mackenzie let Lucas know that he had time because Liz and Derek were most likely to be targeted before both him and Meredith. Lucas and Meredith have been separating for most of the game so far, and this only motivated them to continue that behavior. Tiffany and Maddie met with Oscar, and they told Oscar that they wanted to see Liz and Derek on the block. Derek had vocally been against Oscar in the previous eviction vote, so Oscar was on board with this plan.
Yeah, no, I feel safe. I think I'm going to be safe for the next couple rounds. I definitely have people who are like looking to me for different things, and then this time I put in Oscar, the HOH's head, like the 2 people that I think that should be gone, but I did it in a way that was unfortunately very manipulative because that's this damn game. Manipulation. And but the guys are nervous about the Girls Alliance, which is understandable, so I'm trying to play the field with the guys and with the girls, keeping things moving. I feel like I've got good relationships with everyone. The only sketchy ass person who is acting like she's not sketchy is Allie. I think she's super sketchy, and I'm like seeing her in all of her face. I think I'm the only person who sees it, but I'm gonna play to my strength, and I'm just gonna continuously be friends with her and push it. Okay.
Allie came up with a plan to have the large majority group stack their dice on one person to keep immunity away from Liz and Derek. Allie, Abrielle, and Rita met with Oscar and asked Oscar to pick someone to win immunity for the majority group. And they let him think on it.
Hold on. Okay. Y'all know my ass by this time. I get paranoid. I am a shady fucking bitch, so I would listen to someone's conversation if I was someone else, so I always feel like they're listening to me. But, so I feel as though I'm doing pretty good so far. I'm making the relationships that I probably need to make. I'm just hoping that everyone isn't seeing through my game. I'm trying to be as sneaky and shady as possible, but on the low. Because, like I said in my entrance interview, I will literally eliminate anyone. I don't care.
Lucas stressed to Allie that he planned to play separately from Meredith. Allie, who's been the most vocal against the couples in the game, started to warm up to Lucas more because of this conversation. Meanwhile, Josh began to form a specific relationship with Meredith, hoping to get some protection from Meredith and Lucas in the event that they won power moving forward.
Okay, so I just had a talk with Meredith, and I'm feeling a lot better about that. I feel good about my relation with Meredith and with Lucas. I'm just hoping that they actually stick with it, but I know Meredith is a good competitor. Like, I know she is, even though she's saying that she isn't. She literally told me that she is. So, keeping an eye out with that. But what I've learned from previously in Big Brother 17 is to align with the people who are doing good, because they're most likely going to keep winning challenges, and just hope that, you know, they don't eliminate me or put me up for elimination. But I think I'm doing good with talking to people so far. I just need to make sure that the bitches that I'm not talking to, I either go talk to them right now, or once they're up for elimination, it's see you later. So wish me luck, world.
Oscar told Meredith that she would be safe, and that he was targeting Liz and Derek as the first couple to face the block. Meredith voiced that she recognized the threat level posed by the different couples in the game. However, she did stress that Derek and Liz were much more chaotic and unified than Lucas and Meredith.
Derek likes to make chaos.
Yeah.
And he said my name and just for kicks to put me against Lucas, but I just don't like playing a game like that of just oh, let's stir up trouble for fun.
I think that the most obvious reason would be Liz and Derek, only because one, I haven't talked to them. I haven't talked to them the most, and the second one would be those are the names that keep coming from all the people in this competition, and I feel like that would be a smart pick. But also, we don't know about the veto, who's gonna win, and we don't know if someone has a rewind, and if they end up being saved, either of those two, I have to pick someone else. And the thing is that I really don't have any other targets, so it's gonna be really hard to pick someone else, but hopefully I don't get to do it.
Mackenzie and Lucas stopped by Oscar's HOH room and asked for his decision as far as who would get immunity. Oscar voiced that he wanted to see Josh get immunity. And then everyone walked outside and handed Josh a ton of dice.
Are you sick of me yet? Because if you're not, you're about to be. Because the girls just gagged me low-key, because they just came up to me and they were just like, dice, dice. And I was like, what? So, I have a few thoughts of what just happened. First, I feel so happy that they do trust me, because I've been afraid that they don't trust me. So I just got that confirmation, which was good. But I'm afraid that a target is going to be put on my back now that I had so many damn dice. Because they're going to be like, oh, everybody likes Josh. Why wouldn't they? But everybody likes Josh. So they might start targeting me to get out, and I ain't about that life. So I'm about to start putting the pressure on somebody else, okay? Because y'all can trust me all y'all want, as y'all should, and I trust some of y'all. But I'm afraid that I'm gonna go home for this. So yeah, I have many mixed emotions. I just feel happy that I'm trusted as of right now. I just don't want to come across as a threat. So
at the nomination ceremony, Josh won immunity with a ton of dice in his hands. No one else had more than 3. Josh shared immunity with Rita. He chose Rita because she kept him safe in the first week, and also he didn't want her to have a large target after being the first HOH, which is relatively difficult in this very fast game. Oscar nominated both Liz and Derek, leaving no question that the couple was in trouble. At the veto competition, Oscar won his second competition in a row, securing that his nominations would stay locked in. Derek and Liz approached Lucas and Meredith, recognizing that the 4 of them were at the bottom of the pecking order. However, Meredith and Lucas weren't really entertaining an alliance with the two. If anything, Meredith and Lucas were actively pushing for Derek and Liz to get out of the game, so the couple's narrative would kind of die out. Liz and Derek compared notes, trying to decide which of the 2 of them would be better to stay in the game more successfully. Derek thought that would be Liz because Liz was stronger in competitions. Meanwhile, upstairs, the majority alliance, led by Abrielle and Allie, were finding it more important to knock out Liz, who was more likely to win a competition than Derek. Meredith was one of the only people not to give Josh dice for the immunity challenge. Lucas roped Meredith in and let her know exactly how that whole fiasco happened. Josh thanked Oscar for picking him to win immunity, and the two agreed that they had a strong connection in the game and wanted to continue working together moving forward. After successfully orchestrating the immunity challenge and the ultimate eviction, Abrielle and Allie decided to solidify their final 2. They wanted to find a third person to join their alliance. However, whenever they were listing potential allies, they had about 7 people on their shortlist.
I think that Lucas and Meredith are going to be some of the next people to go.
I think so too.
I trust Lucas for this round. I don't trust Lucas. Well, how about Tiffany, Josh, Mackenzie,
Or
Maddie?
Tiffany, Josh, Mackenzie, Maddie.
And I think Dash should also be on the short list.
I was gonna say, yeah. I think Josh and Mackenzie are probably our best bets right now, and then
I think
we'll touch.
I'm not close with Josh, but this next round, I think that we should work on socializing with Josh. I think we should talk. I don't think we should look too close because I don't want people to know that we're top 2.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good about my game right now. We just set up Liz and Derek, and I've talked to everyone in the house. I think they're gonna vote for Liz, which is great. Everything's coming to plan. The dice thing, very maniacal. I'm really glad that I suggested that. I'm just worried about gaining too much traction in the house. I am gonna lay low for a couple of rounds unless I'm really good at an HOH or a veto competition, but I really just don't want to make any enemies. But I do have a final 2. Me and Abrielle, we're tight. Oh my god, I forget this is opposite. We're tight. Final 2. And I'm really excited about that. We're looking for a final 3. I'll keep y'all updated.
Rita and Josh met up, and Rita thanked Josh for giving her immunity. The two agreed that they had a deep connection and would continue working together moving forward. Notice that this is another strong one-on-one alliance formed by Josh.
Or I just nominated Liz and Derek, and I'm starting to feel a little guilt about it. It's also my first Big Brother game that I played, so I don't have any experience being this cold-blooded, like just picking someone to be eliminated. I feel like that's something that I need to get used to it. But yeah, I picked those 2. I picked you, Liz, and I picked you, Derek, because I haven't talked to you as much as I have in the first round with the other people, so that's the only reason. There's nothing ill against you 2 guys. Liz, you do remind me of a family member, so now that I see you there sitting about to be eliminated possibly, I do feel bad. So if that means anything, I really hope you stay, because Derek is gonna be very chaotic and I'm scared. But yeah.
After feeling guilt over nominating Liz, Oscar spoke up for Liz, hoping to see Derek go home this week. However, Liz's threat level in the competitions was just too great, and the group agreed that they wanted to see Liz go. At the eviction ceremony, Derek gave a very aggressive speech, hoping to throw himself under the bus and keep Liz in the game, who he thought had a stronger chance at making a deep run. However, Derek only swayed Josh, and Liz was evicted by a large margin. The first couple has been split up. Derek is alone in the game. Abrielle and Allie are becoming pretty visible leaders. And Josh is making a bunch of one-on-one alliances. Who's going to win power next? Find out next time on Luke's Big Brother.